Always wanted to. The last time I did a vision board was when we did, like when we were kids, and we had to do stuff in class and, like, cut stuff out of a magazine. That was so long ago. It was, like, I think elementary school or, middle school to kinda what do you see yourself doing, or what do you want to do, or what's your likes, and then you're just cutting things out that you like, and I remember it was, like, certain fashion, a cute, antique bottle of a perfume from a magazine because I love antiques. So, yeah, I like collectibles, so my goal is me myself to collect antiques from other countries I visit and other areas versus my husband, he went to Italy and Spain for in the military, he would bring something back. So like on my desk, my part of my vision board, he brought these and all from like that's from Spain. And then he knows I love the sun and crescent moon. So it's a big Italian family in music. So it's like signed by the artist that's got music. So it's like I want to now like do my own. That's always been a vision of mine to have is one of those big older glass cases, which are your big hutch, and you just put all of my stuff from traveling and experiences that like memories to kind of be like that's the culture that I learned and all that. So I want to go to different countries and learn their culture. So my biggest goal later down the road for trips is Italy, so I can meet my mom's side of the family I've never met, my grandma's family. And then before they all passed away, because I didn't get to meet her sister and brother, they passed away. And then I wanna go to Greece really bad to just I wanna learn the culture and not just see it from movies and, do all the little things that you see the families that are from there, that are natives from the area, to kinda just have that feeling of extra hominess for myself, because that's just something that I'm drawn to are those 2 cultures the most. And then it's more spiritual, in my opinion, on those 2 cultures, besides going to Mexico, which I'll be doing the end of the year. I'm so excited. I've been manifesting this. I'm like, I want to do a trip that's all based on inner self-worth, inner healing, because I have a lot of trauma. I have a trauma therapist that I've been going to for a year now that's helped me through a lot of my darkest times and heal my inner child self. And now I'm just wanting to heal even deeper and just keep growing so it doesn't stop my fears from my businesses I want to pursue further more full time in. Because I've always been like, what if it doesn't work out or what is it, the common stuff. And I'm like, I just need to fucking just do it and be fully involved and whatever happens, happens. So that's like something I've been doing. And then you saw me with Destiny. She was like, I was like, let's go get lunch and stuff tomorrow. I want to like pull your brain on some things because I just didn't really convince much, but my husband started his brand for golf and asked me to help him. So me being a photographer and wanting to try videography, I was like, this is going to be a big step because I usually do photos and make videos and take small clips, and then I'll post on reels and stuff on Instagram. So I'm like, Dusty's like, why don't you just do it like you're wanting to, like, just keep doing that with his brand. And then I was like, he wants to do YouTube. So I wanna get all that in there. So I'm like, we're now starting to pursue the business side of what he wants and me being part of it and being kind of behind the scenes and that being my part in the business, and we're doing it together. And then I'm gonna push towards my other businesses with photography, and videography is part of something I always wanted to try in more in depth and be fully involved in my photography. I just quit my second job. I was nervous because I'm always like law enforcement was my thing, and then I got woke up with an injury and had to move out of state, and I was so scared and so negative, and then it pushed me to heal from my best friend that passed away in that state and find myself find the worst parts of myself I didn't like. It pushed me. And then now doing the therapy after a year, last year was just the worst year I've ever had, besides the year that my friend passed away. Like I thought I was healed from all this death in my life that I've had. I've had in 5 years multiple deaths of people close to me. So I'm like, worked on positive and staying positive and showing others that when you stay positive, it also manifests that positivity to continue without even trying. So that's something I've been working on, and it's helped a lot. Destiny said it's helped her a lot. I'll poke her and be like, "Hey, you, stop it." She was like, "What?" I was like, "I see what you're doing," and she like get in her head a little bit, and she was like, starts laughing. She goes, I can't. I'm so grateful that you're around, like with your positivity. I was like, girl, it took work. I want to keep that going, but on the main part is like I want to with everything combined together. Like that was just the little stuff, and I've been doing really good at it. So I'm not too worried about on that. It's just more of the fear of the businesses pushing the that no matter what the outcome is, it's going to be a good, it's going to be okay. And then because it's the photography side, I want to eventually be comfortable and make enough to where I feel like I can get my LLC, even though I don't have to have them, but I would like to achieve one. I like to have certificates in my background. I want to eventually work towards getting my a business license in the future in Georgia, or wherever we end up wanting outside of the East Coast is where my husband wants to like pursue more. Which would be I want to flip houses for all first responders and military and help them with that fit their needs for their medical issues, their health, and then open up a mini cafe, which my husband wants to do. I used to run a restaurant for 4.5 years, so that's why he asked me to help him with that. But I want to help single parents have a job, but then be able to get off at time, be picking them up around 3 o'clock and still have a job. So it'd be like a cafe open from like 8 to 3 or whatever, and help them have a lifestyle that they can work around and be a parent. And it's just like I'm a big community person, so I have a lot of big goals to get towards. And a lot of it's going to be also on my property that we'll get in the East Coast. So eventually, I want to throw markets on the property and help the local people that have their small businesses that want to grow and show them like what I've gone through to achieve where I'm at in the future, and then be more of a inspiration and a teacher on what I've done. So like with the photography, I want to eventually step away to where I have my own studio on my property on the side that photographers can use, and I can help teach them and then help with clients that want to get a little bit here and there. But I want to just be a business owner and step away from doing all that work and just do it as a hobby for fun on the side, but still see the progress. So, but the main point for now, for the end of the year, my goal is to get out of debt from medical. So it's like short term. So by December, end of December, beginning of January, I want to be out of debt because we moved out here, and that was like 10 grand that came out. My first loan from California to going to Arizona. And then the medical, we had to pay out of pocket a year later, having to move again because 2 months in was we had a house that was molding that we didn't know. So they were secret and hiding it, and I got sick. And then it created all of my other issues to spike up and ended up having to pay a lot out of pocket. So we've moved 4 to 5 times in 2 years. But we're finally permanent. We'll be here 3 years in Mesa, the end of it's this year. Thank God. It just took a lot of moving. December will be 5 years in Arizona. So as you could tell, there's a lot of debt from moving so much. And we had lawyer to fight with for that. Thank God I didn't have to pay the lawyer or anything. That was nice of him. But yeah, I want to get out of debt so that we can work on putting that investment into the businesses so that we're not having to worry about, getting in more debt. And when we already have some, and then look at possibly property on the East Coast the following year, or just traveling over there to see so that we can have no debt to put a down payment with our VA. We don't have to, but we want to help with the interest rate. Those are the short term right now goals. And then the fear of business. Those are the main ones, but that was just, like, life, and then small. Yeah, 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 perfect. Yes, right. Mhm, perfect. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Um, just like a reminder to, like, not step backwards and keep moving forward to kinda get over that fear. That's my biggest issue that I've been fighting with for years, ever since I started pursuing like I started the photography several years ago, back in 2024 officially for paying. First it was a hobby and everyone finally convinced me. It took me a few years. You could make money off this. I'm like, I didn't do it for the money. That's just a bonus. But now I'm like, you know what? I do deserve that with that time and having to learn that. And then also the fear of, oh my gosh, this is a lot of work. Oh my gosh, I'm getting a lot of clients. How do I keep up? And sometimes you're gonna have get backed up. That's just how running a business, and I had to like keep talking myself back into it versus out of it because it's not like I call it a laziness, but I feel like it's more of a fear versus me being lazy when now that I've kind of thought about it in the past like few weeks after meeting you and talking to Destiny, I'm like, okay, I think I know what it is. Like, and her talking to me about her fears, I don't think it's lazy. It's just the fear of it failing and me feeling like a failure. So I just want to keep pushing forward and find a better manifestation on pursuing that to get over the fear of it and that, whatever happens, it happens for a reason. That's how what I always say, that quote and what's meant to be is meant to be. Don't dwell on the past. And sometimes we do go fall back on the past, but that's the fear of it not succeeding. So that's what I'm trying to work on. Right. Yes. Yes, and that's the part of really working hard on, and I mean with my therapist on personal life stuff, but like on the goals of my career and pursuing for, all this health and self-love, like that trip from Mexico, like if I can make the money for it, my husband says I can go because I said I need to do this for myself and I want to do it. I used to be so scared to say that. And I would the fear, not the laziness after myself was it's too much work. But it's just me being scared it's not gonna be what I wanted and, it was a waste of time or it's not gonna be successful, mainly. Yeah, 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 mhm. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes. Yes, I get that. That's kinda how I was feeling, and I seen Destiny said the same thing, and I think that's where we clicked on when we were talking about all this and was like, I was able to pull some things from her to, like, say, "Look, I've been there, done that. You need to just kinda pinpoint," and then that if I'm gonna say it, I need to take my own advice, and so that's why I said, "I know when I met you and all that," I was like, "If I win, I know I need to do this manifestation." Like, I'm all for manifesting and spiritual, like, I'm very involved in all that, and I was like, "That is something I wanna get into, then I need to make it fucking happen." And then I ended up winning, and I was like, "I know what I." Yeah. Yes, exactly, that's exactly what it is. Pretty much, I didn't wanna say it, but that's pretty much what it is, like, I did my goal, I did what I wanted to do, and it's there, and I can and then I that's my way of also showing my daughter, my 8-year-old, like, "If this is what you want, you can do it." Even if it takes years down there, like, I would knew going to Italy, my mom tried to get me to go 3 times, it wasn't the right time. Internally, I didn't feel it was the right time because I knew I wanted to go by myself, either alone and kinda look on the spiritual side, which they wouldn't understand, like, I chose myself versus always allowing others to tell me what I need to do. And that was hard because of disappointing others is a hard thing with family, but they respect us. That I need to do it for myself, and then want to do it with my husband and daughter, and them see that side of me and work on that spiritual side because there's a lot of things that I found out about that side of the family. Like there's a lot of spiritual stuff, and mediums and things like that that I've heard of. And my grandma's like, I know you wanna learn more about my family, but I don't feel like explaining it. She's, worried about me even exploring that side, but I told her in my heart and my, like, soul, it's drawing me out there. Like, I need to do it for myself regardless. Like, I'm very optimistic. Yeah, so yeah. Exactly. Yes. Perfect. Yeah, okay, perfect. So for the career side of things, for the first year is it's gonna be like the videography and also the clientele and pursuing of more of my photography business to do it more in depth. And then that goes towards, my husband's brand for golf, but, that also helps open up more of categories and varieties of my business for that. So that's that one. And then if we're looking for 2, 3 years, I'm picturing starting getting those licenses, the LLC and business license to start actually working on the flipping side of things. I want to at least have those in my pocket so I can start looking more into that. And so that by that time, I can start talking to contractors and doing all that before making the final decision on, all right, we're starting now. Let's do it. So I want to be involved. Yeah, kind of like a real estate investing that and it'd also be like a part of a nonprofit for them, for the military and first responders. But I want to mainly have it focus on the realty side of that. So I wouldn't want it to be a nonprofit title, but eventually I'll work towards that. I would say it would be I could put a title on it. I would call it like our fixer, like fixer realty. So that's like we're fixing for our military and first responders. Because they'll be yeah, because it's like fixing what they already have and making it better is the whole concept of it. So if they already have a home and they don't wanna move and get a newer home, we're gonna fix what they have already to make it work for their lifestyle, to make it work. If they have a wheelchair, we're gonna make it to where it's workable around that. And then if they need something, bigger, but they can't afford it, then we'll go ahead and we'll put it towards an investment they can rent to own. So, and it gives them the opportunity where they don't have to buy either and just rent a home out that fits for them if they can't. So that's basically what it is just fixing what they already have going on and making it better. Yeah. Mm, for the career side of it, I'd probably say building a personal level with the community. Because by that 3 years, I want to make sure I have my farm with the property so I can build that community with that area I'm living at to start the market for it to be a once a year thing. Yeah. It's just time. Action would be just making the time. Um, not and then making sure it doesn't have to be perfect. And then I'd say also, let's see, we got time, making sure it doesn't have to always be perfect. That's my biggest issue. It has to be perfect. No, it doesn't. It's sometimes that's why I love lifestyle stuff because it doesn't have to be perfect. It's in the moment. And that's what matters. And then the other one, I'd probably say content for marketing. 'Cause the doing it is content, but it's like I say posting content is the hardest one because it's the time, not having to make it perfect. It combines all together and having because then you have to take the time to do everything. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just you make what you already have. I have to remind myself that, and then making sure I post about it, no matter what it is, if it's not perfect or not. The mental, because I can ta it only takes, like, when I'm with my husband, we do his brand, I'm using our GoPro, and I'm taking, short clips, and then, he and I had him go learn how to combine the short clips into making it into a video, and it's like, he's doing that, but it for my side of my photography, and when I start doing videography on my stuff that I wanna do, not just his brand, I have to remind myself it doesn't have to be long videos, it can be short clips just like that because I enjoy it, but I need to make sure I'm doing it for myself, so it's like taking that time to do it for what I want it to be for myself, for my own businesses personally, and that knowing it doesn't have to be perfect because I'll go in there and I'll start nitpicking at shit. I'll start, oh no, I need to do this, I need to do that. And, sometimes being your unique, authentic self, it doesn't always have to be perfect like everyone says it has to be. Because that I feel like if I'm going to be more of a lifestyle photographer and videographer, because that's what I want it to be, and that's what I enjoy doing. Like I enjoy doing the family photos and brands. Like I'll do your portrait, but lifestyle is my big thing. Act yourself, be yourself, and those are going to be the ones you want to put on your wall. So like the family ones where they're goofing and laughing. I was like, no, let your kids run around because if that's their normal thing, that's the moment you're going to want on your wall. And the laughing, so it's like, I am more about that with my business on everything, and I need to make sure I stick with it and not having to always be perfect, picture perfect, because then it gets boring. You see that at every business, like, for photography. You're like, "Okay, this is all portrait picture perfect." But I wanna talk about pursuing that side of this lifestyle, like, it's not always perfect, and it's okay to not be. Yes. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, yeah. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, yeah, like, yeah. I feel like when it comes to the action of those is I need to do more research. And because I know that there's a lot of, if I'm not going to do it obviously in Arizona, but I'm going to do it out there. Like I've done small researches, but I never fully went in depth with it because it just started getting like scary. I was like, this is a little too much info, and oh, it could be expensive, but if it's something I want to do, I need to do more research. I need to contact people. And, there's so many things like different counties in certain areas. You don't have to, have a specific LLC or a certain business license. But I want to be like, I'm extra professional. I actually achieved this for myself, even though the county says that you don't have to have it. The city says you don't have to have it. So it's you research and making sure I'm achieving it for myself personally, that I did it. And then I think that with research, contacting people, and then I'd probably say I would have to go and like I go to visit out that way, go actually look in the area for that and talk to, the talking part to actual local owners for small businesses to kind of get the more insight of how they actually done it and pursued their business of their goals. So kind of like being in the scene of where it's at to understand. Because I'm more of a visual. I have to do it to see it and act, and then I'll actually understand. That's how I am with any training. If I don't, I can read it, I can, hear it, but if I'm not there doing it and learning as I go, or with somebody to show me in person, it's gonna be like, okay, I can do that later. Oh, no big deal. Yes. Well, with that, I met a photographer last night at my job that wants to bring other photographer friends to do my vision on women empowerment and the Salt River with topless with flower bouquet and jeans in the water to show for women empowerment. And she goes, "Oh my God, we should talk about," because I told her that was one of my visions for photography, is to do one of those sessions and show like women it's okay to pursue all these goals that I'm trying to reach for, but for yourself, for your own. And I want it to be about that. And then maybe a short clip from every single person, what their vision is and goal, and how this session made them feel. Because a lot, like a lot of photographers nowadays are doing the skin different color for women empowerment. And I'm like, but what about the deeper sides of it? That's more myself, like the spiritual, the deeper. What are the deep things of you that you want to achieve that you've learned from just this session? So that is going to be fun to get to talk to a photographer that's done it a lot longer than myself and kind of get the inside of everything. And she's willing to talk with me, and she wants to book a session with me for her family too. And then get other photographers she knows to do that vision I want, and then meet others. So that will help having, a small group of photographers that are females to kind of get more in depth of the photography business that I want to pursue and get their inside scoop on it. Mhm. Yeah. Yes. Mm. For community, I already know I'm good at talking to local businesses. I did it when I was event coordinator for the last for the beginning of the year. So like from August to, well, actually it was August through the end of November. So I did that for a short time and I enjoyed it. It helped other people wanting to get involved and show off their businesses. But I am for what I want to work on is talking to like like neighborly side of things. So maybe a neighborhood events, like your downtown events. I would one day would like to have my own booth to kinda talk to others and get, like, their personal opinion on things, like, of what they wish would be better that would pursue for them to wanna come out for, like, let's say, a market, like, and then also for my photography that will help bring clients, but also, like, get feedback. It's all falling in a similar category, which I didn't expect that to come out. Yeah. Um, in Arizona, I thought about trying it out just to but if I'm being honest, I really wanna push that towards when we do, like, the East Coast, because then I have an idea of how their culture is out there because it's different. I've only been a few times to Georgia and drove through Tennessee, and I don't know where we're gonna end up and opening the business by and where we're moving. It's not gonna be for, probably, hopefully, no more than 5 years. I wanna be settled somewhere by 5 years in that farmhouse, but wherever we go, when we're gonna be traveling to look in the next, hopefully, year or 2 is pick the town we're gonna be at and town and state, so then I can talk to locals. Because when I start talking to locals, you get the inside scoop of where you're located at, but then you build relationships before you go, and that I wanna pursue the uncomfortability of doing that, the awkwardness, I don't know anybody here, but I'm gonna do it. And start sooner than later because I waited until one day Destiny reached out to me to be do the photography for one of her gatherings 2 years ago, and I'm like, if I didn't take that risk and do it, I would have never been like, "You know what? I don't wanna be a partner, I wanna be part of your community." And I'm like, "You know what? If I can do it sooner than waiting and then finding out someone's reaching out to me and then build that community, it may just come out way better. The personal level is gonna be way better, and then they'll know what my vision is. They'll know that I would like them involved in it. Because I didn't even know my niece, my husband's side of the family, that she makes beautiful handmade candles, and she's in Georgia, and I'm, like, talking to her about my vision about going to do this, and she's like, "Did you know your niece does candles?" I was like, "No," because I was like, "Oh, I'd love if somebody local, if we're in the let's say we're in Georgia or whatever, um, I want someone that does candle making, but has their own business and local." And I'm like, "That is crazy," and she made a beautiful fucking flower, man. It looked real, and she's very young. So, and then I'm like, "Girl," I was like, "I would love to, it'd be nice to have a family, like, helping a family member, but I don't want it intertwining in the business, but I don't mind helping them. Like, hey, you're making it. I'll give you a small portion if you put it in my shop. That's going to be part of my realty business. You walk in, it's going to be buy something to decorate your home, but also I'm helping you in my own office for that, for the flipping." So, because I make farm decor too. So it all kind of intertwines together. Yes, that's exactly what I want to do. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Yes, and that's kinda like what I was thinking because I always thought we were gonna move to Georgia because that's what he wanted to do, but it wouldn't be close to his family, it'd be, like, down south or super up north. But, because I wanna keep it family stuff separately, we've had a lot of being too close to things and it becoming a lot of drama that I don't want in my life, and it's helped a lot separating family from our personal small family that we have built our own. So it's like, if I would love to help my niece out in any way. I know he would want his niece to have, help in some way. So maybe that would be a good thing to start off with. Be like, hey, I got somebody for a candle making, and I wouldn't mind them being, involved. I just wouldn't want them like signed into our business. It's like, I'll help you with your business, but you're not going to be part of my business because I don't want to have a bad an image if something goes wrong. Because this side of the family is a lot of stuff I don't want attached to us. A lot of negative stuff, and his I'll give you a little mini background real quick. His side of the family was a lot of drug addicts, and he left them in the military to get away from all that at 17 years old. So they kind of still go back and forth on things. Like the mother of my niece, she was supposed to be she was on the right track and all that, but then ran back to a bad person that was in her life and then got in trouble. So it's like, maybe if I show that her niece she can make a life of her own and be part of that and help her with the business, then maybe that will help her mom see that she can, if she keeps pushing, because she was a really good store manager and then she let life take her to the wrong path and because it was easier. So I'm like hoping that will help with that because it's like another part of the community thing, but I just don't want family problems. Yeah. But yeah, that would help. I would love that. I've always wanted to have family involved, and I know my mom has always been a supporter and involved in that. She helped me learn about how I enjoy decorating and creating farm decor is what something I enjoyed doing. She was a wedding for consultant and actually through weddings and do decorations and stuff. So that's where I got that from. And that's something I enjoy doing. Not so much the wedding side, but I will do it. I don't mind doing it. I'm very good at it. I just don't want the drama. But yeah. Yeah, and and then I've had a lot of people ask me for advice, like, "Where can I put this?" So, and I'm like, "Oh, or decorate it," telling my friend how to, "Well, you should decorate your house like this. This is how you are. Don't just do it because you see others doing it. It needs to be what feels right for you." And then I'll just tell you, This looks better here." So I wouldn't mind, I love doing staging and the interior design of things. So it's fun. Yeah. They're all good. We can do it for another session, another time. Mhm. Mhm. I love it. Okay. Okay. Um, always wanted to do my own garden. And so has my husband. I've also always wanted to, because it's time consuming, but put more like do more like on authentic recipes. Like my husband, is really good at cooking and all that, and I want to build our own recipe book. And I bought one, but we haven't written in it yet. And but like I want it to be like, some healthy and things that we enjoy eating as well, so that we're not always going out. I want to stop eating out all the time. Yeah, like I have a black chalkboard, and I was slow we were doing it, and then I got super busy with the work stuff, working two jobs and trying to do all these things and managing, like trying to do the photography, and I got so bucked out that I was like, I don't even have fucking energy to fucking cook. So it's like, time management is, for my life, for personal level, for my health, is something like I'll start slacking on when I get busy. So, like, I should have already made an appointment for my neurologist therapist for my physical side, to like my physical therapist, because I hurt my shoulder a little bit and popped it again on the snow trip, and I haven't done it. It's been a week. So it's like, the time management and doing the those top three things, push to pursue that. And, because I will get lazy when I get tired and I don't have energy. I will not want to do anything but sit and relax and do nothing. Um, because I've inner self-healing is really big. That's why I'm pushing myself to make sure I put the funds aside to do this Mexico trip, because it's gonna do all the inner work that I've always wanted to try, that I was kind of scared of it not working. But then I'm like, you have to believe in yourself and trying something before giving up on it. So, if I can do a Sedona trip by myself and cry it all out being alone in a hotel room for the first time, and call, the crisis line saying, maybe I do need some extra help to heal, because there is a lot that in my body that emotionally that I didn't know I had, that I needed to heal still, that I thought I got over. And it's a lot of inner emotions and inner work that I want to keep pushing, because it made me feel better when I did it. And then I felt like my energy was more free, and I had the energy to do it. The second that I start getting more on the lazy side of things, I start overthinking, and that, oh my God, I have so much to do. But then if I take doing the time management and taking one thing at a time, it doesn't have to be all done at one day. I would kind of felt like more at peace and didn't have a lot of energy being pulled away, and I don't overdo myself and feel like worn out. Mhm. Yeah. Yes. Mhm. Yeah, that's the main reason why I wanna go. The only reason, actually. Love it. For actions, write in the recipe book. Write in that book is what I wanna write. And then, uh, definitely look into what I for the garden side of things, because obviously the recipe book will help with the stop eating out, obviously, for me, because it's more of a structure thing that I need to have, it helps with that. But for the garden, I feel like I need to research, what's gonna work for Arizona, because I know what will work when we move because it's gonna be all 4 seasons, so it's all gonna be fine. But in Arizona with the heat, I get scared to even try and waste money. So I think just research of what's gonna work for Arizona, um, of what I can use to for recipes, fruits and veggies that we would actually use. And then I did make a deposit for the trip. I was so scared because I was like, and then I found out because I was, the financial side, but she had Afterpay and Klarna on there, so I was like, oh my god, I can do payment plans, yes. But I pay it fully, obviously, but it's in payment plans, so I did that. So did it today, so I could cross that one off my list that I did it this morning. Because that was like I was gonna wait, and then I was like, if I keep waiting, I'll probably end up being too late. But I need to do my passport. That's my biggest thing, and I've been pushing it off because I'm like, it's a lot of work to do because I need to go in person for that because I have an old one, but it's my maiden last name, and I have to put my married name, and I don't know if I need to do renewal or if I have to do a whole actual new request. So I think going in person, I can figure that out. So I just need to just do it. Yeah, yeah, seriously. Yeah, yeah, I have to get it done by this month. Otherwise, it's gonna get too busy in March for people wanting to do it for spring break. And I want the stamp. I wanna go somewhere in Mexico for the Mexico stamp saying I did it. That is a big personal thing for myself I need wanna do is I want to pay I don't care, I will pay for somebody to do the actual passport stamp. Yeah. Okay. Yes, because I know they'll do it, but you have to ask them, because they have to stamp like, "Yeah, you're here for this," but there's certain areas that are smaller that like Mexico that you have to ask and then you have to pay for it. I found out. I read a little thing about it. I was like, "What?" I was like, "Oh, I thought they have to do it to show that you are went in there, and then when you leave, they just check everything." But I guess it's not anymore because that was like years ago, I guess. I don't know. I haven't researched very much recently, but passport stamp. Um, I think I'm trying to figure out for energy-wise, but now that I'm gonna be I my last day of February on that last Saturday will be my last morning one, so I feel like I will have more energy, but I think I need to I know I need to work out. I need that energy because 'cause I'm feeling a little bit on the weaker side of certain things that take my breath out of the way that I wouldn't like picking up a heavy ass box that I would normally not have issues with, and I'm like, "Oh my god, I can't," like, having trouble, like, taking I'm having to take a deep breath after that, so I think, whether it's a walk or, because I do need to take my dogs out for a walk, like, my puppy is at the age now where he can go on walks, and I need to do it more often. That helped with breathing as well. And then I feel like that will help push me to want to do more, even if it's at home, because I want to do classes like Pilates class or a yoga class. I've done Pilates before, but I've never done a yoga class. So that's why I'm excited to try yoga in Mexico in a different culture because they do it differently than what you do at the gym. And I had to cancel my gym membership because I'm not able to do it because of an childcare. The times don't work out, but I feel like if I can do it at home or find a company that's nearby that's not expensive, maybe I was like, I would like to try yoga even here or even a Pilates class to just do, even if I could just go by myself. I don't have to be in a group. I'm used to going in a group. By myself is the main thing. I used to go to Pilates a lot when I lived in California with my mom and grandma. Yeah, and then, like, I love dance, and, that was my workout, but I would have to drive 20 minutes all the time. It was always in the evening, and I worked in the evenings. But I'll get to that for sure, going back to that same dance company, and I did do a heels class for the first time last year. I pushed myself. That was fun. But I wanna get back into, what I enjoy and I love, which is I used to do hip hop and be in a dance company, and that was a good inner workout, and then it helped get my passion for dance out, and, I wanna get into that for sure, and I know that I have to look into, the times for that, but that I won't be able to do that until able to make that funds to not have to work my night job anymore. Which I'm slowly getting there, slowly. But, eventually I'll be working for myself in the next few months. So that would be in the next few months, I wanna do that, but I think my main goal right now is I wanna look for a class that it's in the morning, a yoga class or a Pilates class where you go to an actual, like, studio for I don't wanna go to a gym, I wanna go to a studio because I feel like when I tried it with Girls Activity for, like, the boxing, it was a studio, not a gym, and I loved the community, and I was able to do it by myself and go there, and not have to know anybody, and I loved the energy. So I think pushing to try the one of the either the yoga or Pilates, I think I wanna try more yoga because I've never done it before, would be a good thing to say, "Hey, I tried something new," because 'cause I'm used to always going to what I'm used to, not pushing for something new that I'm interested in. So I think I need to find a yoga class in the morning. Yeah, because 'cause I'm meeting people. Yeah, and do it alone. Do it? Oh. To yes, to create. I like that. Okay. Seriously, I love that because I met people. I did meet some people with that, and I would love to keep that. Definitely need to find a yoga class. I've been pushing that off for a year. Very zen. Very zen. I need to find that. Mm. Like, I'll do like I love old clocks, so with time, like an old clock. Yeah, I'll do that. I love pocket watches. I've always wanted one. Yes, that's what I really want. Actually, I really want one on my desk. I have one that's something on my desk that I've always wanted that I found. It's a old antique compass. And yeah, and it also is like a little bit of time, but it's by like shadow. So that, but I want like an actual like clock, like a pocket watch. Yeah, I'm like I've been wanting one so bad. Pocket watch. So time, antique clock, pocket watch. Okay, and then yoga. Yes, yoga. Like I'll do like fruit and veggies, like a garden. Do like let's see. So there's like one of those like I want to not like a peace sign, but like that what's that? It's like a old I think it's an Egyptian one, but like a Zen Egyptian like inner peace icon picture. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but it's got more than one hand, like multiple arms. Yeah. I don't, you know what I'm talking about. It's like that always called to me and for like healing and spiritual health and made me like get pulled to like stones. So I've been slowly collecting like healing stones. Or yeah. Yeah. Yes. Perfect. Just I do drawings sometimes if I don't know what I'm talking like how what it's called, so I'll just do a mini drawing of the arm and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Of money. I'm gonna do a big money sign. Debt free of medical and moving. How do I feel about money right now? I wanna feel free, at peace, comfortable. Yeah. Yes, I wanna feel like, that's where that, peace comes from, like, I wanna feel free because I want to feel free from debt and have that big, like, heavy weight off of our shoulders and my chest of like, oh my God, like, that's why I took 2 jobs. And my husband's like, you don't need to do that. I was like, but I feel guilty that you're doing it by yourself. And I want to contribute to help pay off that's both of our debts. We're together, we're married, we do it together. That's just how I am personally. So that peace of mind of knowing like, after the debt's gone and my like I'm slowly like I was able to quit my job because of doing some content that helped me get to that point where I can quit that for that morning job on the weekend and I'll be done with that. Now I want to work towards feeling free from having to work for somebody else and I can work for myself. So I'm working towards, now hopefully like my other businesses will help, with the photography side of things and clients and content doing on that with the marketing will now take away where I can quit my other job that was only going to be one job, that my night job. So I'm home with my family. I'm not coming home at 12 o'clock at night or 1 o'clock in the morning when everyone's asleep. And then waking up a couple hours later and like, oh, here we go again. Gotta do mom stuff, gotta clean the house. Now, like, I'm so behind on laundry right now. It's insane. So, like, today's like cleaning day for me. Like, get the laundry done, put it away, worry about the other stuff and vacuum tomorrow. Mhm. Yeah, yes, it is. It's a big issue. Yes, yeah. Mm, I'm not good at budgeting. My husband does that. So I feel like I set myself a goal that got me to where I quit my like put my month notice in or my goal is like $800, which cover like I already made $300 already, which covers my first week for that morning job for working 3 days in the morning. But it's the 800 to I want to get to $1,000 so that I have that extra coverage, because I was only making one job $300 if $400 after taxes being taken out. So it's like, if I get to that $1,000, that's that comfort of that extra side money from that coverage goes towards paying a little bit more of a double on my debt. So like the budget of, what I want to make, having make like budget goals of what I want to make and achieve it and then push for more like one step at a time. So 800, then 1,000, and then I want to get to $2,000. And once I hit that $2,000 mark a month, I'm able to work for myself. So like start small and work big. Yeah. Yes. Seriously, that's exactly how it is. Because 'cause I'm so used to like, even my husband that is that way too, like, we wanna get to the big goals now, but I'm like, we have to start small to get there, it took us several years to understand that, like, every time we try to go there, we ended up in big debt, and we're like, "Oh, fuck." We could have done the, moving differently. We put ourselves to where we had 1 month to move and we moved to Arizona, but, instantly versus, let's take this time that we had when I was on leave with medical. We could have not been in so much debt. So, like, doing, the research again, doing, taking the time and setting a budget goal to achieve that versus jumping straight to it, and then now we're stuck having to all this debt with us. It could have saved us a lot. And so that's something that I'm trying to make sure with him and I were doing. Like, yes, we invested in a GoPro. We have to, we will pay that off. It's not that expensive. It's a couple $100, but it's like it's still a couple $100. But we jumped to do it because we're now using it. We're doing it. We're getting thousands of people looking at our content. We're now pushing that, and it got him to have a company reach out that wanted him to represent their clothing line for golf. So it's like I want to keep, that investment helped, but it was a small investment versus I could have gotten a big ass fucking those I want to get I want to do animal photography / videography one day too. I want to know how to do everything with both sides, and I want to get like the big white lens that you see big photographers do, and they capture the moment of like wildlife in the moment from far away. And I'm gonna one day learn hunting, even though it's not my thing. But I'm the type of person I rather know if shit hits the fan, I know what I need to do. Like that's how I work. Like I want to get a motorcycle license one day, but that comes with money because, but right now that's not a priority. That is a small thing that I can do at any time. But it's the management, on money and spending. Like I have a trip coming up we're redoing his birthday trip in Vegas, March 6th for, 3.5 days. And it's like, right, the reason why I quit that job, but then, I need to raise $800 to be comfortable to use while we're there. So I like these, and then I have to now raise money to spend for the Mexico trip. Paying small payment plan for the trip to get there is fine, but I also have to now look, what do I need? How much do I need to spend there? To not, in cash. Like I get cash tips and I put it all away, but I'll use that to pay also for one of my debts. So it's like I need to find a way to budget and how much I need to pull from the bank account to put aside into a savings for that trip to do it, or this is going to be for the business side of it. So I think if I can do that, I can probably learn how to budget things that I need to do for the business side and my personal self. Right. Put it aside and clarify, like that's later, but it's like knowing if I want to do these things, like the Vegas trip. His first Vegas trip was last year, both of ours. And, we didn't know what the fuck we're doing. But we spent, worked my ass off. I grabbed all my tips. My tips is what we used. Half of it I paid for the trip. The other half was $500 he could use to do whatever the fuck he wanted. And he won some money back. But it's like, I don't have the opportunity. I don't have that bartending job anymore to make that much money. I'm in a smaller, more family owned one where we don't make a lot in cash tips. It's all electronic. So it goes straight to the bank account and I have to like now budget and find a way to budget. He does spreadsheets. I don't, never done spreadsheets before with budgeting. So I'm like my dad. I write things down. So I feel like I thought about getting from team like a money budget for like this is for traveling, this is for debt, this is for whatever, and I just haven't done it. And then you can also put like it has like a little zipper for that to put cash too, to go towards it. But if it's electronically, maybe I need to just pull it out as a cash to so I put it away and I out of sight, out of mind because if I see it, I'm gonna use it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That'd be fun. Yeah. Um, with the finance stuff, I wanna, because it does trickle into the business side because you can write it off in taxes. I wanna be able to be debt free to and be my own businesswoman and use the funds to where I can have a vehicle that's only for business and write it off in taxes. That is a big goal of mine. So then I'm not having to have, yes, it's a, we can have our personal vehicles, right? But I want a mom. I have my mommy vehicle. I have a Suburban. That's just for that. I have my old '99 Silverado, but I want to put that in a car show one day. So we're going to eventually start working on it when we have the space on the property to do so. He'll have his own little work car garage to do that. But, I want to have a nice vehicle, not a, G-Wagon, that's nice. But, I've heard, you can get those things and it's for business, but you have to prove that it's for your business and within 3 years of taxes, I've heard. So it's like, for myself, I want to have a nice vehicle that has my business logos on it, where or like the Instagram or whatever, the contact for it for that. And I want to, budget my business and money goals towards that as a big one. But to travel, I want to have that extra money savings. I want a savings to use for the traveling. So I think, well, again, that runs at traveling, but I think maybe like a picture of a safe, money safe would help. Because it's like putting it away. You need to put them away, which is hard for both of them. My husband and I are both bad at putting money aside. I used to be good, but I stopped doing it. So like I bet maybe like photo of a safe and picture of, let's say, maybe a pile of cash because putting because cash, having to put the cash in. I have a money jar right now, but that's for like debt and paying the gardener. But, I can, I like doing jars for like my daughter has, I told her she has a jar if she wants to do horseback riding. Whatever money she gets, she puts in there, and she has a money safe to use for wherever we travel to go. So, like for Disneyland, she raised like almost $800. She saved for 3 years from like Christmas to her birthdays and put all that money and any dollar I gave her coins and put it in there just to use for her birthday for her first Disney trip last year. So it's like me, I need to do something like that, have something separate that's for that. So maybe like so we got a safe cash money because I want to have more cash versus electronic because it's you can put that into which I did for to pay off debt. I open up a separate account to specifically put that cash in to pay off, but I haven't been putting anything in that savings account, which will be like a safe. But I want that cash to go in so it's used for travel or in personal stuff, and it's out of sight, out of mind. Yeah. Like, I wanna have a lot of cash to just shove it in there, like, maybe a girl sitting like, one of the no, I don't smoke cigarettes, but a girl's I thought, those old ones you see in, like, magazines where a girl's smoking a cigarette with those nice old white glasses sitting on cash or magazines, you know? Yeah, like, I wanna be that is, like, a comfortable scene of cash, having money. That's kinda like yeah, I'm a big 20s, 40s kinda gal. If I could go back in the era, that's what it'd be. Yeah. So, like, a money pile, um, girl sitting in it, chill. 'Cause I just wanna be that's what it is, like, I wanna be comfortable and chilling, being comfortable with the money I have to where I can do whatever I want, when I want. Like, I don't care about being rich, it's just I wanna I don't I'm not that big of type of person. And money doesn't always matter to me, but it's like having that to where if something hits the fan, we have something to cover it. That's the mentality I have. Like when we have a house, like if something breaks, or hey, we have the money. If my vehicle goes out, we have the money and no sweat. Don't have to worry about it. We're not gonna be broke after. That's what I that's kind of how I want it life to be. So safe, money pile. I know I have a picture from Pinterest for that of a girl sitting and chilling. I have a few personal Pinterest stuff. Maybe I can pull from there. Yeah. Another one. Hmm. Because I've always been kind of curious about like my husband's really good at budgeting and Excel stuff, like the tech stuff. So I've always I do things on um like, I like physical stuff, but, being able to see it, like, I would love to have an actual board, money board, like, budget board to, like, check off. Like how, charities or they're raising money and they start, like, filling it in as they go up the high levels. I've always I wouldn't do that kind, but, I've always wanted to visually see like, "Oh my gosh, I just colored this in. I got to that money goal. Okay, now I just budgeted for this." So I wanna check off money board. Yes, that's exactly how I am, and it's like I have chalkboards, I have whiteboards everywhere. I have a whiteboard to cross off that how many times we fed the dogs, morning and night, with their name on it. Like, I want to be organized. I have boards everywhere, but I don't have one for yes. 'Cause then I don't if I don't cross it off and I don't see it, like, I have a calendar in my phone, yes, but I have to have a physical calendar because then I'll swipe it across and be like, "Oh, okay, I'll look at it later," but then I forget to look at it, and I can walk by it like, "Oh, there's my calendar. Oh, okay, yeah, don't forget to do that today. Okay, I have that appointment today." But it's just like, I don't have one for budgeting and money, and, he had and I'm kinda jealous that he knows how to do the, budget for that. He'll write it down, and then he has this spreadsheet on his computer, and then he budgets, "This is how much we have credit card debt. This is how much is this. This is how much the car is, how much we're paying it this bill and this bill and this bill." And that's his thing. But I'm like, where do I need to do something for myself. I want to do something for myself that's like, this is the money I wanna raise to be able to do this and that. So and I have walls right here. Walls that I can put this on. I just never done it, never thought about doing it. And I'm like, I keep seeing it, like these boards, and even like on TikTok, I'm seeing a lot of these like things, just like random things are popping up. Like it's like I'm self-consciously manifesting without actually doing it, of like someone talking with their glasses and then like checking something off and talking about money and business and all these things. I'm like, I didn't even look at this stuff. Like, where is all this coming from? And then I'm like, oh, I like that. I'll say that for like I took a screenshot on taxes to help with money and also a screenshot for business for how to budget for businesses on like open up a bank for this and then you're going to go do this and then you're going to do this with your credit and then you build up credit from your business and you don't have to use it unless it's something you need to put on the card and then you pull from that and pay it off, but it's just like that's bigger things that I haven't gotten to yet. But it's like all these things I'm slowly like capturing, but I have it just sitting in my phone. And then I'm like going through it later, like I need to delete this shit. Like I have so much building up and not enough cloud, but I'm like, maybe I need to just like pull that screenshot and put it in the vision board. Yeah. Like I wouldn't mind doing a printout and just have it and then just pin it on there. I want a pin board and a money whiteboard or something. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. But I definitely want to do like one of those, like, I kind of want to do a whiteboard because then I can change. I like colors and chalkboards are messy. Yeah. So definitely need to do a whiteboard with money on it, like a money budget board. Mhm. Yeah. Whiteboard, budget book, and then spreadsheet. Spreadsheet. I've always wanted to create a spreadsheet. Yeah. Because I'm like, he has this thing, and I'm like, I like Excel, but I do that for scheduling. Like I can do that for scheduling for I used to here's a funny thing. My last job when I was event coordinator and was bartending, I was making a lot of money. I'd be like almost $200 to at most every other night. But it was just a very toxic environment. So I left the job and then before I was gonna leave, but they let me go wrongfully because I was a witness for a lot of shady shit that I could have got them in trouble if I said anything. And I was already like, nope, I'm leaving either way. So you just caught me a month in advance from leaving when I was planning on leaving. But I made spreadsheets for how to do cash drawers. I made spreadsheets for inventory. Like I enjoyed doing that. And I've been told that you can put it, with it being on Canva, that you can actually sell it. And I've never looked into that. And I keep seeing that on TikTok and Instagram videos randomly popping up. And I'm like, I don't know, my phone's listening to me, to my brain, but not speaking out loud. But it's just like, I enjoy creating things. I love doing social marketing. I do it for the small business tap room. I help with that, taking content and stuff and creating ads, but I've never done it for myself besides like photos and all that stuff for photography. That's different, but I've never done it for like money wise and trying to use it to make money. Yeah. Yeah, I love helping others. Yeah. No, yeah. Mhm. I love it. Oh, yes! I love that, like, another thing, like, "Yes, I did it. Yes, I did it." Oh my gosh, I love that. I love jars. I helped my daughter start 2 jars, one for California, but it was she loved collecting shells and rocks, and I told her we'll write the state on every jar that every state we go to and collect and put it in there as a reminder that what we did there until it's full. Oh, yes, I love that. Okay, that's perfect. Beauty artist. Mm, I love it. For style, I'm everywhere. I'm literally everywhere, like, when I'm at home, I stay comfy. So, like, comfy, baggy clothes, like, I'm wearing a sweater, leggings, right? Or I'll wear, like, workout clothes, like, to be comfy. Sometimes I'll wear it if I'm, feeling like I need to be comfy for the rest of the day, like, feeling that comfort, like, of it being hugging my body. It's like a comfort zone thing. And then I love dressing country style and rock. Um, so when I'm feeling fun and artistic, I've noticed I'll dress up, kind of rockish and put like mix things together and just kind of like, nothing matches. It's just all crazy mixed together. When I'm feeling, you know, more family, more my like extra like cutesy and just want to be like, free, all dress country ish. So like, whether it's a country dress, floral dress, jeans and boots, but for the business side of myself, like I what I vision is that Italian side of me that I wanna pursue. So that's why I dressed how I did at the event because that's what I wanted to dress up as for myself. Like, that is what I picture my business self as, is pursuing um and not kinda like a not a like a business casual, but like, like old school money kinda style for like, but the Italian way because it's like for Italian, we always wear like my grandma, like they said, is jewelry. She had her real gold cross and like where it has like the Mary on it. But when she went to Italy for with my mom for the first time, the gypsies stole it off of her neck and like took ripped it off of her and it scarred her so she only had one thing left from it but it's like that is authentic to Italians is the necklaces and jewelry and I only have one item that is from my mom's cousin in Italy that she gifted me that I wore to that event which is got the chili and it has like a compass, gold compass on it and a little stone on there. So it's like 3 pieces together and that felt very like homey to me, but I like I like want to like make sure it's like I have layers. So when I go out, like I can show like, family and, just elegancy and I don't have to be like in a suit. I can just wear like, the jeans or, and a blazer, and still look, old school money without wearing like the fancy pants. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. Money. Yeah, because I feel like when I'm going out, like, for the family, I always dress, either comfy cute or I'm doing more like that, cute, country style. So, like, I'll wear, like, when it's summer, I'll wear, like, that country blouse and my cowgirl boots and stuff like that. If I were, but if I knowing that I'm going out and about, that, kind of like what you us girls will wear when we're going to brunch type deal, like being cute, wear a little cute hat, where, it's something like you're gonna go to a winery type thing, but like it's something I'm trying to pursue to wear every day. Unless I'm wanting to be comfy, then I can still make it look nice unless I'm like, I'm only gonna be in the house because I got chores to do, so I'm dressed like this. But then, yeah, but if I'm gonna be going out seeing, people like and I wanna like look more fancy and meeting people, um for business wise, and just I would love to do like that old school money look, but like in my own way. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. That would be a cute photo shoot. Yeah. For actions on that, I need to minimize my closet big time. So, like, I have a lot like, I do have stuff for, like, going out and then, like, that shirt that I wore that helped bring that I love blues and emerald green, so it helped bring that silk, but with the blazer, like, I'm going out, but I'm also being like, looking professional, old school money at the same time. So, it's like, I have some clothes like that, but I also have some clothes that are like, this is, like, if I were going to a nightclub, and I don't do that, and why do I have it just because it's cute? Like, I need to get rid of it. And, I can sell it for super like, couple bucks, so I need to, like, start pulling it out and not hold on to it because 'cause I'll be like, "Oh, it's cute, I might wear it one day," and I'll hold it, and I'm like, "I haven't worn it in 3 years." So I need to minimize my closet and, that will help with some side money to, like, sell some clothes. And then, I just need to like, I've been kind of researching on, like Temu, some old money clothes, just because that's something I wanna do. Like, I have cute country clothes, I have dresses, I have comfy, like, but I just need to, like, do, like, put aside like, I have, like, on Pinterest, like, ideas of, like, how to, like, combine things and layers, and I don't know how to, like, layer a style. So, I just need to, like, pinpoint that. So maybe just, like, taking the time to go back at, like, my Pinterest board for that specific style and kinda just push for it and actually, like, put it out on, like, the guest bed, like, "Hey, this is what I wanna wear tomorrow, so I need to, like, put it aside, and not just get into comfortability of, 'Eh, I'll just wear this today. I don't feel like dealing with it,' because I have to now, like, go through a whole bunch of stuff in my closet." So I know. Mhm. And, like, setting up, like, clothes ahead of time, like, the outfit ahead of time, 'cause, I've noticed that my daughter does that, and I'm like, "What are you doing? It's 10 o'clock at night." "I have to set up what I wanna wear tomorrow." And she'll put it on the guest bed, and, "I'm wearing this tomorrow." I'm like, "Huh, okay." And I'm like, yeah, I'm like, "Why?" I was like, "Huh, maybe I should do that." Yeah. Yeah, I like being organized, and it's like, if I can start organizing more stuff out of in my life, then I can feel like I'll feel more free doing that, and, it's like checking something else off a list and just sticking with it, and then not going backwards in a comfortability, because then I'll get lazy, and I won't do it, and then I'll do it again several months later and try again. Remember how good it felt to do it. Yeah. Feels good to get something done. I can get a quote, print out a quote. So I can print out a quote that says "feels good," and then, just do it. I've always been a thing of always it's like a curse and a blessing, but I've always repeated it when someone asks me, "What is your weakness and what is, the best thing about yourself?" And I was like, "It's a curse and a blessing," and it goes with both. I never give up, and that's my issue is when I never give up, I keep pushing, and sometimes I don't know how to stop. And so and then it's boundaries, like, with that. Never giving up, but finding a boundary for myself for that. So, putting, a word that's of boundaries and, because, you have to have a boundary for yourself when, you never give up on something because then you'll lose sight of what really important. And then putting in a don't give up. I love quotes. So, uh, yeah. Yeah. Right. So I'll put Italian. I'll put like old school money outfit. Mm, do Italian flag. I love the Italian flag. And then I'll put those we'll do quotes. And then let's see. Ooh, they have those like I can do a picture of like the man like those nice fancy mannequins like fashion designers do of like set like layers. And that will help with like that's like an organization thing. Mhm. I love it. Yeah, I'm trying to organize my little thing at a time in my house. So I asked for my mom's like, "What do you want for Christmas?" Like, I want those containers that go under your bed. Goes what? I was like, I want to pull winter clothes out, put it in there so it's not in a tote and I have to constantly like go through. I want the totes to be for decorations and organize that or, extra, these are, extra stuff that we need that stays in storage, not things that I need to have in the house that I need to pull from. So if it's cold, I can just pull it out, go through it and put it away, and put it back under. I was like, I want to try to get more organized in the house. So like I got an egg organizer where you take it out of the carton and you just place the eggs in and then you pull it with the door. And I'm like, I want to get I want to eventually get my um fridge organized like that more. So it's like, here's this section and this section, this because I feel like when I have everything like in its own section, I feel like I know I'm structured. Yeah, yeah. And like I gifted my husband for Christmas, like one of those, like you open the door and it usually you would do it for your snacks. Like it's like those baskets, those thin baskets, but I did it for his hats. Because he doesn't want to go all the way up the stairs and he always bring a hat down. I'm like, okay, you have a bucket or not a bucket, but I have a container that you pull out and it has your hat sitting in there. You can see it. But then the ones that you love and want to see all the time, I keep seeing coming downstairs and then you're piling it on top of each other on my like furniture piece. That's like that's not what it's meant for. You could put your keys there, and I'm like, you know what? I just got him that, and then I put it on the back of our thing, and I just started putting his hats there, and then the top shelf is the main hat he wears for work with his keys, his wallet, his knife, everything there, and then you can shove and put his two belts he wears every week. So I'm like, I just am trying to get things more organized. And I took the hat, like where you're supposed to be for like not the hat, but for your jacket coat. I have it hanging on like the rod piece that when you open up the actual like closet, I have it hanging there and I have like the two umbrellas are there hanging. And then I have like one of the hoodies there and his favorite little hoodie and then my little side bags for like that I'm gonna go through that are clip-ons. So it's like I want to organize that closet so bad of the other stuff. I want to put shelves in there. So organization, one step at a time in the house would be nice. Because I feel like my life would be a lot more organized to find what I'm looking for. That's what I want. Less clutter. Yeah. Yeah. Just plugging in my charger. I forgot to charge it last night. Mm. Okay. So we'll do love. Yeah, it's definitely self love for sure. Doing things I love personally, which is like dance and, adventuring. Well, trying new things mainly. That's basically more than travel. 'Cause I'm like, and then what else is it? Yeah. Yeah, family time is big for me. Family time, and I would love to, like, have it where we're taking small steps to do more family time by ourselves, like, outside of life. Like, we that was our first family trip, was their Disney trip as a family, and her first time. Like, we put our phone away, only used it to take pictures. I put it on power saving mode so I didn't see anything, like airplane, whatever, like detaching from the world to focus on us. Mhm. Right. And then with my relationship, we don't really go on dates at all. So this will be our first time going on a trip by ourselves together as a couple in March for his birthday. So, yeah, so it'll be like kind of like our first romantic getaway. I would like to do more romantic getaway to bond more, just ourselves together, like how we used to in our own way, when we first started like dating, and before I got pregnant, it was like, we went to adventure new things. We would take drives and just randomly just end up somewhere. And so just being spontaneous and taking that time. Yeah, I would love that. And me not have to plan it all the time would be nice. Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Friendships, sticking to my boundaries is something I go back and forth on. Love-wise is not, hard for me with that. I give it my all 100%, but, like, sometimes the boundaries that I need to set for myself with them, like, I love my best friends, and I love my that sometimes life gets the best of me and I can't always like, I can't take the funds to go travel and go to Tennessee to see my best friend from California that moved out there. Like, it's been 2 years now she's been out there, and I haven't visited, but, I want to, but would love to try to make it a priority, but intertwine that in, like, travel as well. Because 'cause I'm like, I'm not gonna just only come out to just see you, but I also need to, explore as well and take the advantage of being somewhere new and being able to do that, but I would love to take the time to see them, and not be worried about, if I have to go by myself, and just be my daughter and I, if my husband doesn't wanna go, so the fear of, you know, doing that travel and the money side of it, is combined with that because it's like the worry, "Do I have the funds to do this? Because it's easier and more simple to do things that are close by and seeing the people close by, but taking the time to like, okay, now I got to plan this. Now I got to go, find a place and got to do all. It's like it's a lot of energy that I don't mentally have to have to pursue that because it's also not a high priority for me when I have all these other things I really want to do and focus on, but it's like I don't want to feel like I'm leaving them out of my life. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, cause like, I have a really good friend of mine that I met when I moved to Arizona. She's the first friend I made in Arizona. She's all the way in Glendale. It's like, I can't keep driving 'cause her car, she doesn't have her car anymore because it got hijacked and, the person crashed the vehicle and she doesn't have the funds there. So it's like, I can't keep driving out an hour to an hour and a half there and back and have you spend the night the whole weekend when I have a family to spend time with and I also have all this work stuff and it's like I can't do that all the time. So it's like I haven't seen her in 2 months. But, I'm kind of going back and forth like do I want to have her here the weekend of Valentine's cuz my husband's going to be gone on a boys trip for the first time. I told he wasn't wanting to go because of the weekend. I'm like, it's Valentine's. We can do whatever we want, and celebrate. I was like, but this is once in a lifetime for you to go and, it's kind of like Comic Con, but it's for gaming and techie. So all six of the guys do play games together. They're going out there to Boston. I'm like, this is once in a lifetime. Fucking do it because I regretted not doing some of the other stuff. So you'll regret it if you don't. And I don't care if it's Valentine's. At least it's not an anniversary or Elena's birthday. Other than that, I'll like you so take it. And it's like, wanted her to come at weekend, but then I'm like, or do I want that for myself? And do that, spend time with my kid by ourselves for Valentine's, but she also hasn't seen her best friend, which is, like, one of her kids. So I'm, like, conflicted right now of what I really want. Yeah, and because like, I was it's like, when she had I love her to death, but then sometimes when they're here, it's like it's a lot. Her son's older and, sometimes he watches them, but then sometimes it just becomes a hassle and, and it's like a drama and she doesn't, she hates the drama and I don't want to deal with drama. So it's like I asked her and I haven't heard back because I'm like, is it going to be just you and Cora, your daughter? 'cause it would be like, I wouldn't mind having just a girls thing, and I would prefer that over, her son coming for the weekend and being like, "Now you have to entertain your son, and now you have to do this," and you're gonna hear him whining and complaining and, picking on the girls and trying to, think it's funny and it's pissing them off, and then there's just yelling in the house. It's like, I want peace, I want quiet, so it's like, I messaged her saying, "Hey, is he staying home and us just girls hanging out or what?" Because I would like to know. Because I told her, I was like, "I want you guys here, but at the same time, it's like, I need to figure out what's gonna fit best, and, I need a plan, make a plan, and I don't know what that is yet." So it's like, I'm trying to figure it out because if anything, it'd be like, okay, well then, because Sunday that I have celebration of life. That's for my best friend of her 4-day-old son that passed away, my nephew, last in December. So it's like I have that, and then I have a Galentine's on Sunday. That's for girls' toadies, but I don't know if I'm gonna make it because of the celebration of life. That's more important right now. So it's like you're gonna be at my house, and my daughter and I are not gonna be there because we're going to celebration of life on that Sunday. So it's like I'm like, "Okay, this is my plan. I'm going there, and I might not be back until later that evening." So either you're gonna stay there and then you're gonna go home, Monday, and your kids are gonna miss school on Friday and Monday halfway, or you're gonna have to figure it out because I can't always drop everything. So I'm trying to make a plan with that and boundaries like, "Hey, I need to do this. I'm doing this. I can't always accommodate for what you're wanting." Yeah. 'Cause I would be nice if she could, get a Uber, and pay that, it's like, if you had a job, it'd be nice so you can pay for that. Because 'cause I'm like, I can't always pay for you and your 2 kids plus, for lunches and food and all that stuff, so it's like it's also why I haven't hung out, so I need to, like, set that boundary. Like, I was okay with it in the beginning to help because it was just rough at that time, and I understood, but now I'm like, I don't want it to become a all the time thing. Yeah. And I would rather if I'm gonna have her do all that, I would rather her just, "Okay, just why don't you find a Uber to come here?" Yeah. There's a give and take. Mm, I need to figure out what I really want from each individual friend and, for to set that boundary, like, you know, I am usually the one that always drives to them. And it'd be nice to set a boundary, be like, "Hey, I don't," it would be nice if you guys came here or, meeting halfway point would be nice. And if you can't afford it, then like, I'll go this time, but you come over this time would be nice versus always going straight to them. So saying like talking to them would be an action about, and then thinking about the boundary of what's important. Yeah. So that, and then, it'd be nice to, cause like, with the I could do, like, the whole talking thing where, like, when you're talking to a friend as a photo when you're talking because, like, I feel like I'm always the one reaching out, and I'm not getting the back and forth, and it's always like, "Hey, how are you? Da, da, da." And then I'm like, "Okay, and now I'm not hearing back. No, you're not checking in." So I'm always the first one to check in. So I could do like a either that or like a message, like a text message thing that's like, from a best friend, like, "Oh, I miss you, love you, best friend." Like, "Oh, how are you?" But it's like back and forth thing would be good. So I'll put like photo of a text or friends talking. Also, like, I wanted like, with the whole gathering thing, which is, like, I've been making group chats for each people that we get along with and want that do the same things, but, like, planning gatherings together and making sure that it's organized and that it happens on an actual, like, date for versus always being spontaneous, because then it becomes a time management issue when it's always spontaneous. Like, I had a friend reach out to me, "Hey, can you and Elena come over?" And I'm like, "I work today. You know I work on the weekends." And then it's like, it makes me feel guilty, but then it almost makes me feel like I have to go see him now because they asked me to come see him, but I'm like, "You're never coming to see me." So just like time managing. Yeah, right, yeah, yeah, yeah. So expectations need to be met. I need to stop being lenient all the time. And it's funny, like I said, I need to take my own advice because I said that to Destiny. I was like, "Stop being lenient with your clients for girls' activities. You have to also make money too to pay yourself." So, and it's like, and then with friendships, it's like there are people that are gonna be there always, and there are gonna be people that are gonna be coming and going. And you can't dwell on the fact that they were not there at your lowest, and the ones that been there at your lowest are the ones that will always be there for you, are the ones that need to stay in your life. But it has to be a give and take. Yes, yes, exactly. And that's why it's like I've been hanging out more with, Destiny and some of the other girls from Girls Activities that I've made real good friendships with because they get it. They have their own businesses, but they are, and some of them just work a really important job. And it's just like, we are busy and it's like we feel guilty when we don't hang out with our friends. But it's like sometimes you have to, the ones that understand are the ones that are going to always be there and support you and help lift you. And like, I have a best friend in California who's always saying, "I'm so fucking proud of you." And but like, I'll call her and she'll call me sometimes. But the ones that she always says like, "You've changed so much," but in a good way. Like you're putting yourself first. You're doing all that stuff. You're setting boundaries. Like I've told you that friend is always is taking. It's not, it's always drama, but you're allowing it to happen. So you're not setting boundaries. So boundaries were very hard and I've had to learn a lot and I'm still learning about setting boundaries and not feeling guilty after the fact. So I'm having to remind myself, "Okay, well, I don't want to drive you when you're 2 hours the opposite direction to pick your ass up just for you to come on this trip. So you need to figure it out." I was like, "And meet halfway or stay the night at my place. and you drive back. Like, I don't care, and I don't always have the money. Like, and I love that these girls that I have group chats with, like, we want to just sit down on a trip and I want to hike and I want to have these girls that I want to just do whatever and not give a shit what it is and will have no problem setting their own boundaries, saying, "Hey, like, I would love to, but I can't. I have very something important that I like. One of them has a dad's birthday. I can't change. I'm not gonna change that. I'm gonna go take out my father and da da da. Like, it's nice to know that they can set their own boundaries and have know what's important to them. And it's like, I have a best friend that's always that asked me to hang out with her, and I told her I was like, it was so hard like, I felt so good. I was like, she's going through a nasty divorce, but it got to the point where I'm like, you need a restraining order. I had to tell her, my daughter will not stay the night at your new place until the divorce is done and bad things stop happening because you just had 2 break-ins in your place that you just moved in that never had break-ins because you're having this ugly divorce who said that and you're finding out he's stalking you, he's doing other things. I don't want that in my life. I don't want that for my daughter. It's like the only way that would happen is if my daughter and I was there and I stayed there and I was staying the night with her. That's the only way it's gonna happen. But I don't want to deal with the fucking stress. Like just because of my law enforcement background, like, I had to set that boundary and it's just like I get it. She's wanting to invite us over and all that, but it's like I don't want to deal with the drama, but I also don't want to take from my daughter from her best friend either because she doesn't understand. It's not fair to her. So it's like, okay, I got to put sometimes my own feelings. She knows where my boundaries are. I need to take that leap of faith too and be like, I have to think about my daughter and her friends and setting not always thinking about what I think is best for her, but she has to also learn on her own. So it's like I need to I set remind the boundary and then I need to find a way to work around it so we can still hang out, maybe suggest them to come over and all that, or hey, you come over this, and because she said I need to come over and she came over once and has it since then in our new house. And we've been here for, it's been 2 years. And, it's like, if you want to hang out, like I need that give and take. I can't keep driving to Maricopa from East Mesa all the time, unless I'm in the mood for it. I want to do it and I'm spontaneous. I'll say, hey, what are you doing? Are you working? Okay, I'm coming over. We're hanging out for a couple of hours. But that's like up to me. But to feel like, oh shit, now I have to go see you. I don't want to have to feel like I need to because I feel that way. Yeah, 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 and it's like I wanna do more girls trips, like, it doesn't have to be where we spend a lot of money, like, so, like, I would love that's why I love girls' activities because it's like, you don't do it all the fucking time, it's maybe once or twice a year, but it's like, we can do small, cheap ones and budget and save money and work together for it, and that's why what I wanna do, and it's, with, my friends, one of them I can't because she needs a job, she needs to do all these things, so I'm like, "Well, you're gonna have to figure it out." And then the other one, going, she's available only on the certain weekends to do stuff because of work, and he has the kids, and it's just like, it sucks because like when you have the kids, it's I'm usually working, but I won't be have to too much longer. So with all the career stuff changing and all that, then I'll have more time to make more plans with her. I always have to put my priorities first and then work into that. So that the communication definitely will help. But yeah, I definitely want to do more little mini girls trips. Like even if it's overnight, I would love a sleepover. Like Just fucking all of you guys come over, just sleep over my house. I don't give a shit. Like, I, I'm like, we're gonna do that Sojourner trip, like, Destiny and Christy and a few of the other girls from Girls Activities. I'm like, we're doing a Sojourner trip. We're gonna go hike. We can stay the night there, or we all drive. We can all, and I'm fine with it because I have the bigger vehicle. I was like, as long as if somebody's further, stays the night at the other person's house or whatever, or meets there, and then we can either stay the night at my place, which everyone was cool with, which I was shocked, or we stay a night at a area and we chip in for one night and then be able to, hike and stuff. So we'll see which one we choose. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Mm. No, it makes it so good that I'm actually writing it and I'm seeing it versus it all stuck in my head. It's exhausting. Yeah. Yeah, and then, like, when you talk about it with people, like, "Oh," and they're like, "Wow, you have a lot." I was like, "Yeah." It's like, I just need to write it down. It's all here, but it's not there. Yeah, I wanna take my husband to Ireland so bad one day. Yeah, because he's got a lot we both have a small portion of Irish, but, like, he's always been pulled for Vikings and all that other stuff, and then, like, it interests me on the cultural side a lot because, like, they're very different on their spiritual side, it's more dark, but it's like they have the best food and the best fucking pubs and beer. So, like, I wanna Yeah, seriously. But, like, I've always wanted to go to an authentic Oktoberfest so bad. So, yeah. Yeah. I threw my first Oktoberfest when I was an event coordinator, and the DJ, gifted me an antique actual one of those, like, big mugs where it has, like, the top cover that you pull up, and it was so happy. I was like, "Oh my god, like, my first one." 'Cause I gifted my husband his first one, but it was, like, from about, like, Stark and all that, like, with the wolf and everything like that, so from the TV show. So I'm like, I have my own now, and I put it next to his. So I'm like, now I need to go to one versus throwing a mini one. And it has to be authentic. Like they have the outfits, they have it all. Like I want to dress up. And I wanna go to, I have a cousin on my mom's side of the family that we just found out about a few years ago that she didn't know that she was, her dad wasn't her real dad. And her half siblings are in Boston and Massachusetts, so it's like one of them loves Salem and goes to Salem all the time and is big on Hocus Pocus, and I wanna go there with my daughter and my mom, and I wanna take them there, and they do it during Halloween time, the week of Halloween, and where they do the full Hocus Pocus thing, and I wanna do that so bad. Yes. Oh, it'd be so fun. Right. That's history and the cultures. It's gonna help a lot because, I got a budget. I have to, 1, for sure get a fucking passport updated big time. That's a big need to do now. And then it's just like making the time, scheduling and organizing. I just like that's just something I need to do. And I know I can do it, ahead of time with EF Touring Company. I need to look more into that because you can schedule it years in advance to do and do, a payment plan, and sometimes and I just need to fucking do it and just plan it ahead of time, like, after, like, things calm down and I'm debt free, I know, that's something I need to do for myself, and I can do it. Just have to do the planning, just need to do the organization and the research, so I need to organize, I need a plan. Mhm. Like, I definitely know now that I for sure need to stop just looking at that Temu budget collector thing, and I just need to fucking get it. And I need to do it, and do it where I can say, "This is for this event, this is for this trip, this is for, debt, this is for that," like I said, when you're raising money for something, you know, every cent counts, every dollar counts, and it adds up over time, so I just need to do it for it to be organized for each specific thing. Twice, because I need to be able to see it. Mm, so I have my top 3 is organize, plan, and budget. Is what I have written down for action. And then research, because I keep saying research, because it's like I won't know what I need to do for the plan until I research. And yeah, and for the photos, I just feel like, a special landmark photo that I wanna, like, see while I'm out there would help a lot. 'Cause I wanna do my husband and I wanna do a family 1 month, Europe trip really bad one day, so that could be all intertwined together from the culture side. 'Cause Italy trip's gonna be with that 1 month because I wanna stay with the family I've never met to learn. So it's, like, in it, but, like, Ireland's not really part of Europe. So that'd be like a Ireland, New Zealand trip, and that would be more, you know, for fun. And same with like Greece, would be I feel like it's like I'm drawn to Greece. I feel more like it's a root of mine and I've never looked into it because I'm so like heavily drawn to Greece and Italy and Greek stuff and Italian stuff. So I'm like, there's got to be something there. So, yeah, so I'm like, I just want to find more of like my family tree through this travel. That's like really big thing is I don't know much about my grandma and mom's side of the family at all. I know a lot about my dad's side. Like we actually have a family tree book, and it opens up to generations past even Eli Whitney from the cotton gin. It goes past that, and I'm like, how do you guys have time to do that? Like, so I want to learn about my family history a lot. I feel like that's a big part that's missing. That drives me crazy and it gets me emotional because I don't know much about my grandma's side of the family and my mom's dad that we never met that she doesn't really want to meet much of because he's a drunk. But like that's where a lot of the Italian and that side of the family I need to get to know. Mhm. Yeah, no, I 100% agree. And I really want to get a map and where I can put those pins that I've been there in the locations. I think I might do a little bit of both. So I think what I'll do is pull, like, if I can, like, I'll pull out some that are from my Pinterest that I have that I can print out and cut out. And then, because I love crafty boards to put up, and I love organization boards too. So I might do both actually, because I really enjoy like cutting it out or putting like, your favorite ribbon or piece of cloth that's your favorite color kind of deal. But like, you know, if I can, I just feel like it's more authentic when it's something that you just created and like whether it's glued or, taped or pinned on a board like that. So I feel like I would love doing that and then also have an organized board. So it reminds me of sticking to being organized. So I'll have a digital one that I print out and then I'll have one where I'm like cut out and all that stuff. So I feel like that because it would be like the messy, fun one and then the organized one. So I see the two different. Yeah. 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 I mean, I will have that board, my budget money board, and then one that of things we jotted down of what I want to do and how to do it. So it's like almost like a calendar, but it's a list. So I can just check it off that I did it. Sure. Think I will have it fully done by the end of the month because I want to collect and have time to collect. So that would be a goal of mine because then at the end of the month, that would should be a goal where I've hit that 800 mark too. So, I think that would just be a big thing to have and that have that whiteboard because I have a whiteboard, but it's small and I wanna get a bigger one that I can put on my little wall by my desk. As you can tell, like that I have that wall. I have that one that just is leaning against a picture I need to put up, but, that whole wall, I wanna, like, make it like a collage of everything. Yeah. Yes. Mhm. Yeah, that sounds fun. Vision board. Yeah, I definitely wanna do the crafty vision board and then do the organized vision board for sure. Uh, I love it.